Hi, I'm Gary Walker, and this is the next in our series of best practices for landlords in San Jose and Santa Clara County or Silicon Valley. This one's about implementation. You've selected, you've screened, you've selected, and now it's time to sit down and get the understanding with the tenant. It's an area that a lot of landlords pass by and then later wish they hadn't. If I was titling this, I think I'd call it What Starts Badly, Ends Badly. What we've found is the clearer we can be with tenants about what our expectations of them before they've entered into the rental agreement, so they know what's expected of them, the more likely we are to get people who will in fact do what we expect of them. We have had experiences where when we went over what our expectations of a tenant are, they said, oh, we don't want to take care of the property, we don't want to do that, and I was so glad to have them go away because they were only going to be a terrible problem later. The things we want to do, and we think that the best way you can do that is to get it in writing. We have a tenant handbook, which is how we do it, where we go over our rules. What do we expect? Things like repairs, landscaping, painting or remodeling, appliance repair. That's an area where many landlords leave appliances in the unit and they expect the tenant to take care of them. We call them courtesy appliances, things like washers and dryers. Now these aren't the systems in a house, they're the landlord's responsibility. But if you expect the tenant to pay for repairs on things like the washer and dryer and refrigerator, you need to get that in writing because they're going to expect that you're taking care of that. So it's an area that you want to get that in writing right in the beginning so there's no disagreement. Trash is an area in San Jose that frequently has some obvious areas where there's a conflict. Landlords believe that trash is a tenant responsibility. The city of San Jose used to allow tenants to put the trash in their name, have a separate account. The city has changed its rules so that landlords must put the trash in their name. What we do here, and what I think is a good practice, is we may quote the rent as $2,000, but in the rules we have the tenant pay $2,028 because the $28 is for their responsibility in the trash. They're still responsible, but now it has to come through the landlord. So those are areas that you really want to get an understanding right in the beginning before the lease or rental agreement is signed. After you've had that signed, before you give a key, at the point you hand a person a key, you have made them a tenant. No matter what else you think, if you've handed them a key, they're now your tenant. And the law says you might well have to evict them even if their check was to bounce. So you want to make sure that you've collected all the money, your first month's rent, your deposit. We collect it all up front. If there's days to be prorated, we do that in the second month. But we want to get all the money up front. So you want to have that done. You want to have taken pictures and have a complete what we call statement of condition of the property. So every item in the property that has a deficiency or is as it should be needs to be checked, and you want to have the buyer sign that. You need to pretend that you're going to be evicting these people and you're going to be going to the judge to ask for money to be retained out of their deposit for repairs. So you want to have a picture of the before, of that perfect wall behind every door, so that when a tenant puts the doorknob through the wall, that you have the before picture to compare to the after picture for the judge. Last, I would say another area that's frequently missed that we know is really important. We believe that there'll be an earthquake in California, and that there'll be an earthquake that affects our property here. So when you're moving them in, be sure to show them where the gas shutoff is and where the shutoff for the water systems are, so that if there ever was a broken pipe in the property, or we have that earthquake and there's gas leaking, they know how to shut it off, both to save their own injuries, but also to save further damage to your property. It's one of those little things that down the road, when that finally does happen, I think will pay great benefits. Again, to relook at this, make sure you have everything agreed to in the beginning. Get your agreements in writing, and the stronger your agreements are, the more chance the tenant and you will enjoy their tenancy, and you will enjoy them being in your property. Again, I'm Gary Walker of Aborn Property Management, 408-272-4100, and if you have any questions, feel free to give us a ring. Thank you.